Alright guys, good morning. Sun's up over there somewhere. It's about 8:30-ish. Did some errands and now it is time to get to work out here. See, I've been doing some stuff and we'll talk about that. I figured we'd sit down for just a second and talk a little bit about the plan. So, and it's super breezy and that's why I came in here. So, let's see. Whew. That was last year's plan. Probably can't read it, but there's the new no-dig beds, the permanent structures, where I had things last year. This was all last year's stuff. So, potatoes went in first, then corn, and no peas. I didn't do anything in August. And then we started lettuce and then green beans, and I just finished. I didn't do a fall number 3 in there. But that's kind of how, everything went. I said green beans, but no, we ended up putting them in the other one. We did the sweet potatoes. Of course, they lasted all season. We did not do those sunberries. Oh, let's talk about that another day. Those things sound crazy, so that's why I didn't do it. And then we did zucchini and squash. I said I was going to do potatoes there. However, I ended up doing them over there after the cabbage and broccoli. And then, of course, the peppers and okra, they went the whole season. Then I put the plant dates that I needed to rotate or when I need to put them in. So that's what last year looked like. And I have yet to figure out what we're doing this year. Oh, I do know where the tomatoes were. I have left up the, or I have not taken down yet, the fencing trellis for the tomatoes. So, but I'm planting a different variety of green beans, a pole bean this year. So I'm leaving those up. We're going to do a light teal for those. So that'll be what? Good Friday. What is that? What did we figure Good Friday? Is that April 7th? So the where the tomatoes were last year, I will start pole beans there. So, and then I'll have something else after they are done. But still haven't figured out where everything else is. I have potatoes and onions to do today. However, I've got a lot of compost to move. But I will say this. So, you had peppers. Let's back up, actually. So, nightshades. You should not plant nightshades after nightshades. Nor, that's pretty much the biggest one, I think, nightshades. You know, crop rotation corn's going to suck the nitrogen out of the ground, so you want to move it to another place where nitrogen was put back in the ground, such as your leafy greens or your green beans, whatever. Your cole crops, which are, I guess that's the old way of saying it, cole, C-O-L-E. I guess they call them brassicas now. Either way, that's cabbage, broccoli, Brussels, cabbage, broccoli, Brussels. What else? I think kale, of course cauliflower, which I don't worry about that because I don't eat it, and collards, things like that. Those fall in your cole family. So in your nightshades, you have tomatoes, potatoes, eggplant, peppers. So you want to follow them with, something that's nitrogen fixing, like a green bean or a leafy greens, things like that. And sweet potatoes, I don't think you really have to worry about sweet potatoes so much because they are actually in the morning glory family. I don't think so. I'll have to look into it. But I'm going to have, if I do sweet potatoes, they're going to have to move. Because I think I'm going to put potatoes where the sweet potatoes were. Anyway, so let's pop outside for a second. And let me sit that down. Oh, look at the first babies. The first babies are doing so good. We got the romaine. Let's see, I got 15 of those. These are the first 3 spinach that popped up, so I went ahead and put them out. I got a lot more spinach in the house. These are, if I'm not mistaken, those are the broccoli. Let me see. Yes, broccoli. I got it written on the side of the container here. These are the broccoli. I had one little guy. Yeah, and then I skipped that one because I wanted to kind of have a space there. And over here are the cabbage and one little guy. He didn't transplant well, but it looks like everybody has finally got their first true leaves. These are doing really good. So those are almost ready to go out. They don't look very big, but they got their first sets. So, and all the remains got their first set as well. This nice weather, I've kept them out in the greenhouse. Now, if it gets below, or you know, in the 30s, I'll bring them back in. I had to do that back and forth last week. But as long as we're, you know, above 30, we're gonna, or 35, you know, gonna keep them out here. And tomorrow will be, let's see, I put them in on a night, so tomorrow will be exactly 14 days, and they are coming up. Even though I didn't have enough to cover them, but I'll show you. Let's peek. Look at the carrots. I've had to just about water every day out here to keep the seeds moist, the ground moist, because they need a lot of water to germinate. So they are, I just keep pulling it up and you just keep seeing green. So a lot more carrots this year because they did really well. I'm excited. So let's talk about what we're going to do today. You can see them, well, I'm not there yet. Saturday was a decent day. I think it was in the 50s. I had to come in here in this bed where the sweet potatoes were, and I pulled out any weeds that had popped up. And look at here. Already. Onions. Again. Where do these things come from? Oh my God. Wild onions. So what I'm going to do with this one, I got to go back. I got to mark my rows again. I've lost my row. So that's the first thing I'm going to do is mark my rows off. Straighten that up because it looks all ganked right now. It looks all crazy. I'm thinking I'm going to put potatoes right down the center. And we're going to end up having to, gosh, I got so many onions. I think I'm going to end up having to line all my rows with onions. Because they'll probably be done about June. May, June, something like that. So if I line out, just rim it all the way around, rim out, just all down the sides here, they'll be fine and they won't disturb the potatoes. Of course, garlic is doing so good. I'm so excited. Look at the garlic. I mean, it's just most of the row is garlic. Got 3 rows of it, the 2 different varieties. You can see this row is whatever that was, and this row is, or this variety. Now I have enough space down through here. I'm gonna have to fill that in too. Oh, that's gonna get fresh compost today and straighten up the row, and I should be able to put a stagger 2 rows of onions straight through here. And down here at the bottom we had the zinnias last year. I have a feeling, hopefully, some of the, I don't know if I'm going to go ahead and do my onions, fill this rest in with onion. Not sure, because it should have some volunteers, seeds from, you know, because I just let the blooms just go. May. Look at this. This is still that's still rooting. That's where the zinnias were. Those things got huge. Should have seen some of this when I was cleaning them up. Got some onions to pull out, so I got some cleanup to do first. Obviously this whole row is going to be cleaned up, and you know, several inches of compost put back on top of it. So that's why I'm thinking, I know I'm supposed to rotate, no nightshade. I might, because the sun was did so good here for the peppers. This is the best pepper year I've ever had, but they got sun all day. I mean, all day. It's just the first spot that gets sun. So, hey, since I'm putting so much new compost on top, I may not follow the rules. I may break the rules a little bit. I may. I don't know. Either way. So, a lot of compost. I got a lot of compost to deal with. Yes, vacation day. Yay! But as I go through this, it's too bad it's a nice day out here, because when I go to digging in here, gosh, it's still heating up. It smells so good. But I'm also getting bigger pieces that have not, pine cones, things that haven't worked their way out. Of course, a little rock or two. Either way, that's what's happening today, y'all. So, straighten up the rows, put in compost, and hopefully potatoes and onions will go in today, because it's going to rain again. Of course it's going to rain again. Saturday. And this is just going to be, eventually I'll get that row back. But, alright. See you guys in a little while. Okay. Wardrobe change already. 1 hour-ish in. But I've got, it's like landmines all through here where I've dug up a bunch of those onion patches. And while I was coming through the walkway, look at here. This is a garlic. He was over here. And I guess, I don't know what happened there, but there's a garlic. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to get cleaned up today too. But wow, just going to have to put something around it so no one steps on it here in the walkway. Anyway, like I said, wardrobe change already. We're in the 70s already. Oh my gosh. Had to get off that heavy t-shirt and put on a tank top. But here's everything. You can see how much this is that sprout. Now I cleaned that bin on Saturday. There was nothing left. Look at this. All that. You had the little tippy tops out of the ground. And that's what was in the dirt. So you've got to really get down under them in order to get all that mess out. But this is my mess. Oops. I got to get him back. Wait a minute. Ooh. So the soil is alive. You would not imagine how many little wrigglers I have run into already. So he's got to go back in. And let me put him back in. Let's find a hole. Let's find a hole to bury him in. Alright, little guy. Get back in there. Oh, there he goes. He's like, I don't want the sun. No more sun. Let's bury him. Okay, but I did get those last okra plants. And I wanted to leave them so the roots can just rot to provide more nutrients, right? But look at this. Look at the root system. Gosh, I can't even get the whole thing in the... And that's what hasn't rotted off already. But goodness. Let's see, wait a minute. Ugh, one-handed here. Yeah. So there's the root system on this one okra. And that, like I said, that's what's not rotted off and put back into the ground, you know, the nutrients. So that's what no dig is about. Leaving that root system, pretty much you could chop them off at the top of the dirt and let that root just rot back in the ground. This is what I did here. These are all okra plants where I had just kind of nipped them off at the ground level just to keep the microbiome in place in here. And this stuff is so soft. It's amazing. Until you get down underneath, you can see the red. Because I had to dig so far to get those stupid onions out. In here, gotta be careful. Dug into here and I'm like, what is this? Moldy. It's not moldy. Not moldy at all. Can you see them? The earth moving? Fire ants. So that was a fire ant nest. Gotta take care of that. I think I'm gonna add a bunch of coffee grounds in here. I don't think they like coffee. So let's get them moved out of here before things go in here. Alright, see you soon. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm hungry. I haven't eaten anything. So we're doing brunch. Peanut butter and jelly. Okay. So, this is what I'm doing. Shovel. And I'm just kind of working through it to get out any big things. Like here's leaf mold, still stuck together. That's because I've already straightened up the first row. I was way off. And I'm not exactly sure it's where it was last year, maybe off by a couple inches. But I've measured out my 3-foot row so far, just to finish that one up. And look at this. See, there's a big chunk. Actually, that's pine cone. Don't want any trees in here. So that's what I'm doing. Just working through, trying to get this one row finished, and then I'll start on the next. Finish up the row that already has the what is it? Garlic in it. Yeah, I don't want any oak trees growing. I've come across hickory nuts, pin oak seeds, acorns. Of course, a handful of rocks, big sticks, chunky sticks. Kind of heavy on the. Oh, here's another one. So that's going to take a long time to decompose. So what it's going to do is just go down there. All that little scrap that I take out will just go in my little compost heap. And like this, that's just leaves compacted together that hasn't rotted down yet. Well, see, we got a little leaf mold, but it's pretty gray. It's already drying out with all this wind the past couple of days. You have to dig in there really good to get any dampness. So this is what I'm doing. Oh, it smells so good. My husband didn't like the smell when we first got this batch home. He said, God, it stinks. Yeah, well, I think it smells great. Earth. Very earthy. Yep. Hickory nut. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. Okay guys, I think it's almost 2. I have 2 beds ready. But I need to stop for a drink break, sit in the shade, and go in the house and get my stuff. Look, look, look. Dixondale So we're going to open these together. I've already pulled the tape. So these have been inspected. I haven't inspected them yet though. What do we got? What do we got? I don't know. We got some paperwork. In the first batch, I should have 3 batches in here. 3 bundles. Red Creole. These are going to be the red onions. All these are bulbing, so I'm hoping I want storage onions. No spring onions this year. So there should be 50 plus. According to Dixondale, they say anywhere from 50 to 75 in a bundle. So, Red Creole. And let's see what else we got. And these should be 2 of the same. Texas Legend. When I get a chance, I'll pop in a picture from their website about these guys. These are, I'm hoping they'll make a bloomin' onion. Woohoo! Got some dampness, so there's you got to go through and inspect them. So there's a couple that might not make it in the ground. Let's see, what's the other one? Should be the same. Should be the same. Yep. Texas Legend. So we have roughly, we're going to say 50 of the Red Creole. And then at least 100. I swear that looks like more than 50 there, though. At least 100 Texas Legend. So, hey, if they all do really well, more French onion soup, dehydrated, freezer, storage, or some can make it to the farmer's market. Who knows? We'll see. We're not counting our eggs here. Okay, and that's it. Now, let's see. They've got some, I believe, onion planting guide for you. Ooh, that looks like, okay, yeah, that looks like the Texas Legend there. So, wow, size of a kid's head. Anyway, immediately remove the plants from the box. Huh, yeah, I didn't do that. Okay, right, moving on. Put that back in there. Okay, now these are the potatoes that didn't get eaten this year. We did eat some, trust me, we did. And I still have several in the house. But these are should mostly be, because that's just not going to work. These should mostly be my Yukon Golds. I mean, you can see this red one, that's not going to do because it just does not have enough life left. But these are all, got eyes, everything. So they are going to go in the ground. Most of them. Little tiny guys aren't going to make it, And what I'm going to do, instead of cutting like you would normally a seed potato, I mean, this one I might cut because it's quite large still. I might cut him in half. But most of these, that one might be cut in half. Look at kitty fur. And a lot of green. I'm going to tell you what. So these were sitting in the living room. Yeah, and the sunlight got them through the windows and burnt them. Yeah. Anyway, But yeah, a couple of them are going to get cut in half. But some of them are just going to just go whole right in the ground. Okay? So, I'll give you here right quick. I wanted to say too, the reason I was doing all that sifting, and that's why it's taken so long, I have sifted, because not so much on potatoes, you know, normally they go straight in my regular garden, red dirt, no problem. But I want these to have a fighting chance to make really nice onions. So I want good, soft, no rocks, no anything to deter them from having the ability to grow to the size they want. Okay, so that rows down. You'll see I did through here only. What did I do? Oh yeah, I went and got some of that mulch from last year and just went ahead and defined the row, because you can see how deep I'm doing them, you know, a good 4 inches of dirt here. So I wanted to define the row, keep that dirt soil in place, especially since all the onions are going to be around the edges. It looks like I'll be able to put 2 rows, at least 2 rows through here, and there'll be several down there. I already think I'm going to do the red Creole here with the potatoes, because I don't have as many. So now just onto this one. This row I'm not going through the dirt as much, not sifting it out. I'm just gonna pack it in, pull out any bigger debris I see, like twigs, and that's it. So hopefully next time you see me, I'll be putting something in it around. Okay, well, the sun is gone. It's not supposed to rain, but it's starting to rain. Half the bed done, so, but it's looking good. All right, before it rains on me, at least get this row of potatoes and onions. I think if I counted right, I'm going to have 84 reds in here. And I have no idea how many potatoes. Potatoes, super easy. Let me grab roughly, what, 10, 12 inches apart. They say 12, 15. But it's raised bed. So anyway, let me see if I can do this. Hold ya. This is where I'm supposed to have that little handy dandy thing. Yeah, it's starting to rain on me. Not supposed to rain at all today. So we're just gonna, hopefully you can see that. I'm just gonna pull that dirt back. Drop him in. So I really want about, I don't know, about 6 inches or so. Done. Easy. Super easy potato. We'll do another one. Yeah. I didn't leave it about 10 to 12 inches away from the row, the end of the row though. So on the onions, I just had a dibber. So all those sticks worked out really good. So I'm just going to use this as my hole maker. I probably want to come about 3 inches away from at least 3 inches away from the edge here. I can always fill back more compost if I need, you know, when they start growing, I feel like I need more. So I'm just going to come back. Oh, and I have them spaced roughly, these are rough estimates, just eyeballing it, roughly 4 inches apart. 6 is always a good number, but I'm super planting here just to try to get them all in the row. And so I'm going to come about 6 inches. I'm 3 inches. Oh no, there is rain, like serious rain coming. So you give them about 1 inch. Oh yeah, it's raining on me. Yay! And just tuck him in there. So you dab about an inch. Or pull the dirt back about an inch. And I'm gonna just kind of stuff him in there. And that's it. So I am going to jump off here so I don't get soaking wet. I'm gonna go grab, I don't know, a jacket or something. And hopefully sometime you'll see some little onions. Well, I was hoping it was all gonna get done today for this video, but I guess I have plenty for you guys. I'll follow up at the end with a picture maybe when everything is all said and done. So I'm gonna leave it there. 84, at least 84 red ones going in right now, and who knows how many potatoes. So as always, many blessings to you. Bye.